guess who's back? So, first things first, I'm not naked. I'm wearing a off-the-shoulder shirt. So, today, as the title says, is me showing my foundation routine. This is not kind of going over everything that there is to know about foundation. If you want to see that video, I'm more than willing to do that, go into different kinds of foundation, different application methods, everything like that. But this is just showing my personal routine. I add a little bit here and there about things that people with different skin types can do, but this is just what works for me. So I show everything that is not my eyes, eyebrows, or lips. Routine is kind of a lot. I do a lot to make myself look like this, but to me every single step is worth it, and I can notice if I change even one thing. Yeah, I hope that this helps you in some way, even if you just take like one thing that I do and be like, I think that would work for me. That would be awesome. I really love what I do for my foundation. But yeah, I've done a lot of different foundation methods and everything over the years, and this is definitely my favorite. I mean, it's definitely the longest and most complicated, but it works so well for me. I can get probably 12 hours of this looking nice, and then another like 6 hours of it kind of looking trashy. But it lasts so long for me, and for me, someone with oily skin, that is extremely hard to do. I use different products a little bit. Powders and primers I really do stick to. Foundations I use like 3 different ones. Concealers I use like 3 different ones. Bronzers and highlight I switch it up all the time. I have tons because they don't necessarily change like the wear of everything, but like the base most products I really try to keep the same because it works, and I don't like trying new things. It's probably going to be another long one because I'm talking a lot, trying to go in depth and not just be like, put on foundation, put on concealer, da-da-da-da. So I hope that you enjoy this video. I hope that you found it helpful. I loved the requests that I was left last time for videos. I'm going through them. I'm gonna try and film more. But if you have anything else that you want to add, let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe if I seem like a person that you'd like to see more of. If you have any questions about this video or anything that I didn't cover that you would like to know, definitely ask in the comments or on my Instagram, which is Little Makeup Looks, same as it is here. And I think that's it. Hope that you enjoy the video, and I'll see you on the next one. So, let's get into it. This is going to be my foundation routine for just every day. Like if I'm putting on makeup, this is what I'm going to do if I'm doing like a full face. Sometimes I add things, sometimes I don't take things away, but sometimes I add things, like I'll do like a liquid highlight or liquid contour or something like that. But this is just like the basic of what I do. It's super easy for me. This is just what works for me and what I look for in foundation and what I look for in like coverage and everything like that. Okay, so the first thing that I do, and I think everyone should do, is prime their skin. So my skin type, just to give you a understanding of some of the things that I do. So my cheeks are normal. They don't produce any oil, but they're not dry. They're just fine. My T-zone is very oily. But it's also really dry in places like underneath the oil, which is super great. So mostly what I do is I try to counteract the oil in my skin, so it doesn't break through my foundation as easily. So I use a mattifying primer. This is what I use pretty much every day. Sometimes when it's like a special occasion, I'll go in with a pore smoothing primer, but that's just when I'm feeling that taking an extra 30 seconds, it does really help if you feel like you have large pores around your nose or in your T-zone. This really helps. My favorite is by Tarte. It is the Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer. What I use on just every day is the L'Oreal Infallible Matte Lock Primer. It's really, really nice if you have oily skin. So I just take a little bit on my fingers and I just apply this in my T-zone. Alright, so for foundation, I have a few that I really, really love for my skin type. My absolute favorite is Urban Decay All Nighter. It's incredible, but it's really expensive, so I only use this on special occasions. Another really, really nice one is CoverGirl True Blend Matte Made. But yeah, those are my two favorite. But I use CoverGirl literally every day, so I'm going to be going in with Maybelline Matte and Poreless. It's fine. It's all good. So for application, you can use your fingers, you can use a brush, you can use a sponge. I like using a sponge best. Fingers, I just feel gross and I feel like I can't blend, and I'm not a big fan of applying things with my fingers. Brushes don't work well for me personally. It just leaves a bunch of brush strokes and doesn't give me enough coverage and just doesn't work out for me. So I use a sponge. This one is by Real Techniques. It's like $5. Just get it, run it under the water, squeeze it a few times and wring it out in a towel and you'll be totally good to go. And then I just dot it on my face. And he has to be stuck behind the ear. So when you're using a sponge, you just want to bounce it on your skin. And you don't have to like hit your face. I do it kind of rough because I'm just lazy. But yeah, you just want to like tap it on and it'll blend it out. You don't really want to swipe or swirl like with a brush or anything. Just tap it and it'll move. So yeah, that is all the foundation done. Like I said, I put on a lot. You do not have to put on this much. You can just put like half a pump and like dot 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 and blend it in and it'll look beautiful. I just like to cover everything. So next up is concealer. So probably my favorite is Tarte Shape Tape, like every single person on YouTube in the world. It's really, really nice. It has a lot of coverage. It blends out easy. It doesn't dry out or like cake up underneath the eyes or anything like that. Also incredible is Urban Decay All Nighter, same as the foundation. They have a concealer version. What I'm going to use today, just because I feel like it, I haven't used it in a while, is the Morphe concealer. I don't think it has a specific name. But yeah, I feel like using this. So I apply it underneath my eyes. I just do like a few little things. And then I go through and see what else do I want to cover today. So I have a few pimples on my chin that I want some extra coverage on. I have some scars over here and on my forehead that I got from a chemical burn that I like to put a little extra coverage on. And then exactly like with foundation, you're just gonna pat it in. And then when I blend out the under eye concealer, I just look up the whole time. And then I bring it down kind of around my nose, blend it into the rest of the foundation. And the reason that I look up the whole time is so that, or so you don't get it in your eye. And it also helps reduce little lines or crinkles that you can get underneath your eyes. Because I have some pretty deep lines and creases underneath my eyes, and concealer loves to settle in them. So I do a lot to kind of try to prevent that from happening. Okay, then we have powder to set everything down. So the way that I do it is I use a loose powder first underneath my eyes. I use the Airspun powder. So first I set underneath my eyes and my eyelids. So I use the same sponge to set everything. You can use a brush if you want. This just works better for me. So first I blend out any lines that are there, because you don't want to set those with powder. You don't want to make them stay there. And then stay looking up, pick up some powder from the lid on your sponge and just smush it on there. Blend out the lines on the eyelids and do the same thing. And then I set the rest of my T-zone with the powder and the sponge right now. So then I go in with a pressed powder and a stiff powder brush and a powder brush. I use Rimmel Stay Matte. This is a powder that I've literally always used from the day I started wearing makeup when I was like 11 to now. It's perfect. You don't need fancy stuff. This is like $3. So I just use this to go over everything. I have oily skin, so I bake my foundation on my T-zone. What that is you basically just apply a ton of powder and let it sit on for a few minutes. So I'm using the same loose powder and sponge and just applying it where I need it, which is my T-zone. But while the bake sits on, I do my eyeshadow. That depends on what I'm doing for eyeshadow that day. It can be on for 2 minutes, it can be on for 15 minutes. I would say, just as a rule of thumb, try to leave it on for 5 minutes. That'll make sure that it's actually doing what it does. I know I use so many steps, but in reality, like when I'm doing this whole process up to this point takes less, like 5 minutes. It's really, really fast. I'm just talking a lot and trying to give as much information as I can, I guess. So that's why it's taking a little while longer. Alright, so I just went and did really basic eye makeup. I basically just put on wing liner. So it's been 5-ish minutes, and now you can brush off the bake. This is called a dual fiber brush. It's basically really loosely packed, so you kind of smack it around, and I just really lightly brush it off. Next up is contouring. This is my favorite brush to do it with. I don't even know what it's called anymore. I think it's the e.l.f. blush brush, but I use it for contour. And today I'm going to be using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I prefer a cooler tone bronzer for my skin undertone. I'm very neutral, and the warmer colors don't really look that great on me. For bronzer, it kind of makes me look really orangey. So you just want to get a little bit on your brush, and then you can do the fishy face if you need to. And just follow that line right there. You can feel your cheekbone. If you push up underneath it, that's where you want to put your contour. And I just do little circular motions all underneath it. And bring a little on top just to blend it out. Bring it down here. And boom, you're contoured. And then I go underneath my jaw. So that is what I do for contouring. I also contour my nose because I feel like it is very large. So I'll just quickly go over it. People contour their noses differently a lot. So basically for my nose, I don't like how wide it is here, and I don't like how big my nostrils are. I like it fine here. Like I like the width here. So I just follow that like skinniness that it is up here and bring it down right to the side of the tip where I think it's too big. And then I just put a little bit right there. same on this other side. So I do my makeup in a really weird order. So yeah, I bounce around my face constantly. So now I'm gonna go fill in my eyebrows and do my lashes, and then I'll be back to finish my face. I do not wear blush. I despise blush on myself. I think it can look very pretty on other people. I just hate how it looks on me. It makes me look too alive. Something about it just makes me feel very weird when I wear it. So I don't. Now is the time that if I was feeling like wearing blush, I would put it on. Now it is time for highlight. On something that I don't normally wear, so I was thinking this one. It's in a cute little heart. It's by Makeup Revolution. It's the baked highlighter in the shade Goddess of Love. And it's like a pinky, silvery, goldy beautifulness. This is my favorite brush to apply highlight with. It is by Real Techniques. It is called the setting brush. So just pick some up on your brush, and then right like where you can like poke your cheekbone, that's where you want to put it, like between like your eye and the contour. Then I bring it up like onto my temple a little bit, just to blend it in a little easier. And then I highlight my Cupid's bow. I just use my finger for this because it's a little bit easier and keep it more in like a specific place. I also highlight my nose, so I do like a stripe down the middle and a little dot at the end. And then use a clean finger to kind of just rub some of it off. Then I use setting spray. Again, how many times can I say this? I have oily skin. I need a mattifying setting spray. My favorite is by NYX. It is the Matte Finish setting spray. It's awesome. Today, because I'm almost out and I really want to use it all up, I'm going to use the Milani Make It Last. Just kind of spray that on your face. There's no technique to that one. That one you just kind of squirt. We are finally done. Wow, never thought we'd get here, right? But yeah, so this is what everything looks like now. I know that my foundation routine can seem pretty complicated. I swear it's really not. It's just nothing in the steps are hard to do. It's just kind of a lot. But I hope that this helped. I hope that this was helpful. And that's about it. Thanks for watching, and I guess I'll see you on the next one.